So, on the left of the screen, in my opinion, one of the most accomplished professionals in the country, not to hold a title against the enigmatic, flash, brash Chris Eubanks from Brighton. This should be a humdinger. This is the one I've been waiting for. And neither of these two in a bad fight. Chris Eubanks in the white shorts against Mel Justin, sporting the dreadlocks. And Eubanks is a very odd, mantis-like style. Very, very fleet on his feet is Eubanks. And I think he'll need to be here tonight because Mel Justin can give anyone of his weight in the country a damn good fight. Whether he's able to come to terms with Eubanks' style or not is another matter. Solid jab there from Chris Eubanks. And all sorts of odd tactics coming in from Chris Eubanks. He's got the sort of style I don't mind, providing it's entertaining. Both scored there with reasonable left hooks. Well, at the end of this, the first of a scheduled 6 3-minute rounds. And more antics from Chris Eubanks. Interesting character, Eubanks. He recently returned from the United States, where he had 5 fights. And this, in fact, is his 8th here tonight. So he had 2 in this country afterwards. And his best and hardest fight was, in fact, against a guy called Eric Holland in the States. And he was also a Spanish gloves champion in New York. And he's a full-time professional. And as I said at the start of this bout, Mel Justin, I've never ever seen Mel in a bad fight. In fact, he's featured in some of the best fights I've ever seen.
Round 2.
And I think there's still a lot of fight left in this one. Mel Justin in the black shorts against Chris Eubanks. I think the first round I gave to Eubanks by virtue of his persistent left-hand work, although I think it's more of a slap than a punch. Mel Justin's going to find it quite a task to cut Eubanks down here. It's a very unorthodox style. And both using the left hooks fairly freely. Good right hand from Eubanks. And he's staggered Mel Justin. He's okay. Roy Francis is allowing him to go on here. And very, very unusual to see Mel Justin in bother. And Eubanks has chosen not to press home his advantage here in the second round. Instead he's popping Justin with some very solid head and body shots. Well, Chris Eubank is obviously a very accomplished professional. He's not allowing Justin to ruffle him at all. By the end of the second, won fairly convincingly by Chris Eubanks. Although Mel Justin was allowed to work, two-fisted clusters of punches to the body. First time I saw Mel Justin, in fact, was a six-rounder against Trevor Smith, who's unbeaten in 13 fights. And they left hooked each other to pieces in that one, and a very, very exciting fight. And every time I've seen him since, he's been not as exciting, but equally entertaining. And I wonder just how good Chris Eubanks is, and what potential he's got. He seems to be handling Justin with consummate ease at the moment. And Roy Francis getting a little bit ratty with Chris Eubanks there. And immediately Eubanks connects a long right to Justin's head. And Eubanks is appearing to ride Mel Justin's shots very, very well here in the third. And Mel's connecting with a few now. He appears to have found his range. And while Eubanks may be a superior fighter, or he may think he is, he can't allow Mel Justin to work off him like this, because it all counts against. both landing with some solid punches here. I think Justin got the better of that exchange. And Chris Eubank's complaining of a low blow there. Very crabby style, very awkward. And he's calling Justin into him now. And Mel Justin avoids those shots very, very well. And he in turn calls Eubanks in and making Eubanks miss with everything. Very, very good defensively, the pair of them. And he's hurt Eubanks there with the right. And this could, well, a very entertaining third round. This could have a very entertaining, or I should say, explosive ending if they go on like this. So Brendan Ingle there in Mel Justin's corner. I wonder what he's got to say for himself. I imagine he wants Mel to go out and put some pressure on Eubanks. You may have noticed a few cracks. And, Ronnie Davis, I imagine, is telling Chris Eubanks that he needn't get involved in a punch-up. Like to be a fly on the wall. So the halfway stage of this contest, scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. I've got Eubanks. In fact, I've got a dead level at this point. And, Justin's decided to go looking for Eubanks here in the fourth. Mightn't be a bad tactic. He's very capable of defending himself, so I'm sure he wants to try out Eubanks' chin, and for the first time in the fight, Eubanks backs off. Two good left hooks there from Eubanks. Unbalanced Mel Justin. Some good punches here in the fourth from Chris Eubanks. And Justin's taken it very, very well. Fighting back still. Referee Roy Francis prizes them apart. Right straight through the middle there, caught Mel Justin again. And Mel's in bother here in the fourth round. He needs to look after himself now, get his hands up, stay out of trouble. This is where those hours in the gym with the likes of Harold Graham and Johnny Nelson will do him the world of good. He needs to remember everything he can defensively. It's a good round for Eubanks, this. So we're into the last minute of the fourth. And Chris Eubanks on top here. Although Mel Justin is still very, very dangerous. Oh, good round for Eubanks there. as he strolls back to his corner, very nonchalant. So as far as I'm concerned, I've got Eubank to round up. So these last two should be very interesting. And Mel Justin wants to make sure he doesn't take too many of those right hands. And Justin appears to have fostered quite a bit of support here in this Hove audience.
Second up, round 5.
Penultimate round. And will Chris Eubanks try and press home his advantage of his heavier hitting here in the 5th? I've got to say that Justin's always been very, very busy in this fight, and he's still pumping away. And Roy Francis didn't like the shoulder charge there from Chris Eubanks. I don't think there's anything spiteful in it. Brendan Ingles obviously told Mel Justin not to get involved in any of the heavy artillery, just to go out and work and try and steal it, because Eubanks is inclined to be a bit lazy. Again, Justin ships another good right from Eubanks, but to his credit, he's still in there throwing punches. And tomorrow morning, Chris Eubanks will know he's been in a fight here. He might have had things his own way to some extent, but he's had to work for this. It's by no means a foregone conclusion that he's going to pick up a decision. Especially considering the amount of work that Justin is doing. And they're both connected with nice rights there. Well, referee Roy Francis decided to call it a halt in the 5th. Now Justin was taking some stick, but I don't think he was in any more bother there than he was previously. So a very good win for Chris Eubanks. Very, very unusual to see Mel Justin with a stoppage against him.
And in 2 minutes, 30 seconds of round 5, Mel Justin being in no position to defend himself, the referee stopped the contest. The winner, Chris Eubank. Gentlemen, I'm sure you'd like to give a big hand to a very great loser.
As Mel Justin gets a huge response from the audience, and he's very happy to have continued.